Okay, so we've been asked a question about protection. Now, questioner has asked for 3 separate ideas of negative behavior of other people, the media, and those which the questioner has described as dark arts, the occult, for example. Okay, so to start with, there is obviously this idea of protection, generally speaking. Okay, so what we would say is that truthfully, and we mean this, there is no need for protection. If your beliefs are strong enough, if your vibrations are high enough, and if your strength of self in terms of allowing other people's opinions, beliefs, etc., to penetrate your opinions and beliefs, there is no need for any protection whatsoever. So we say that from the get-go because it's true. You see, you look at you look at what has in previous times, people who have been attributed ideas of yogi or guru or these names of more older times, we will say. Well, they truthfully did not protect themselves because they had such strong belief in all that they knew that they certainly did not feel that anybody else was going to influence them. So we would say that if you are strong enough, belief enough, vibration high enough, there is no need for protection. Does that mean that ordinary people living life today, aware of things such as energy, vibrations, etc., have no need for protection? Perhaps not, perhaps not. Okay, so how can we take these individually? Okay, so protect yourselves from the negative behaviors of others. Well, to be perfectly honest, this is more to do with a lifestyle choice than anything else. We explain what we mean. If you are surrounding yourself with people who engage in negative behavior, then we would question whether or not you should be allowing these people to enter into your circle, to enter into your world, to enter into your vibrational reality. So you must decide this for yourself, but in the first instance, if you know they are engaging in negative behavior, then we would say if that's not the path that you wish to walk, then there is a real call to say that perhaps you should not be inviting them into your space. Now, some people will say that, well, this is my brother, or this is my sister, or this is my uncle, or this is my parent, or this is my wife, or my husband, or my child, for example. How do I exclude them? Well, there are ways of excluding without excluding. You can limit, for example, and we would just say that you need to have that question for yourself. If you know you are allowing people who are engaging in negative behavior to enter routinely, unchecked, unwarranted, unquestioned into your world, well, you need to question that. That's all we say. Now, can you protect yourself from their negative behavior? Of course you can. Don't do it. Don't indulge it. Don't engage in it. Don't believe in it. Don't do it yourself. You see, what do you mean by negative behavior? Well, if they are choosing to live their life in a way that is destructive for them, you don't have to engage in it. You really don't. Do you have to withdraw from them? Sometimes you do, yes. If you're not strong enough to be amongst that person and still remain true to who you are, true to the behavior you wish to express, then yes, there may be a call to withdraw completely from that person. And we would say that what you need to do in this situation is not feel bad that you have distanced yourself from the other person, but to recognize that in order for that other person to be who they need to be, you may not need to be around them. You can still wish them love. You can still wish them energy of vibrational purity of love you can still wish for them success, but you don't have to be in their physical space, is what we would say. Is there any other way? Well, if you're strong enough to be truthful who you are, to keep your vibration at the space where you wish it to be, whilst they are around you, well, then there is no problem in a way, because they can be in your sphere. You maintain your highest place. Let that vibrational influence them. And it is possible to do that. You see, this is what old yogis, gurus, call them what you will, masters of old, would do. They would sit in their vibrational purity and allow people of troubles and struggles to just sit in their vibrational reality, knowing that there was enough to influence them. You see, it's all vibrational. The world is energy. The world is all operating on vibrational level, vibrational plane. What you're actually asking is, how do you maintain your vibrational level that you wish to be at if you are amongst other people? And this is why we say, if you can't, then you need to have that question of whether or not to separate from the behavior of the people. So what you're really asking is, how do I keep my vibration intact given other people's behavior? Well, here is something we can say. One is to get very strong in what it is that is allowing your vibration to be at the highest level. You will be at your highest level of vibration. You will feel it palpably when you are engaging in certain activities, when you are allowing certain thoughts to occupy your mind, when you are allowing certain visuals to occupy your eyes, when you are allowing certain activities to occupy your body. All of these things will create a natural environment that allows you to be at your highest vibration. So we will say, as much as you can, stay in those spaces for as long as you can to keep your vibration at that point as you can. We're not saying that whatever it is that keeps you there, you may at this moment in time be able to stay in that space for all the time. But what we would say is, take as much as you can from those spaces, from that time, and take it with you into your world that you are engaging in. So if there is a thought that allows you to have a higher vibrational place, use that thought in the world that you are living in when you are accept from that vibrational highest point of yours, and use that thought to maintain your vibration in other spaces. And we would also say that you can So you can see that in the same way that you have identified other people's negative behaviors as having an influence upon you, you can notice that your own positive behaviors have an influence upon you. So to maintain your vibrational status, what you really are looking for is the power to control your own environment regardless of what is happening around you. Well, this takes practice, this takes time for most people, because what you are trying to do is engage in the real world, and I am doing the quotation mark here for those who cannot see, engaging in the real world And at the same time, you are trying to be separate from. Well, this is difficult. So here's what we would say is, one thing to really focus on is the mind, because if you are noticing negative behavior and allowing your mind to follow the thought, oh, they are indulging in that negative behavior again, you see, you have allowed your mind to be influenced by their behavior. Stay separate. Maintain your highest thoughts. Maintain your purest thoughts. When witnessing negative behavior such as you are describing in your question, then what we would say is, your highest thought is to feel compassion for them. Your highest thought is to feel nothing but compassion for a being that is so disconnected from the soul, the source, whatever you wish to call it, the energy of which they are, so disconnected from, that you have nothing but pure compassion for them. If you can sit in a space of compassion for all that is, without allowing it to penetrate into your vibrational sphere, you see, then you are in that space of yogi. Then you are in that space of being able to influence world and not be influenced by world. So your question, as you have put it, is actually one of maintaining highest vibrational point. And that is, the easiest way is control of the mind, because you see, your mind tends to go in different directions that you don't actually want it to go. That's not in your vibrational best interest. So the quickest way to change your vibration is to change your thought, not to allow your thoughts to go where you do not want it to go. This takes mastery control. This takes time. So what we would say is, the first thing is to identify if you're able to do this, and if you're not, limit this time that you are in the company of the person that is influencing you. Be gentle with yourself. This is stuff that you see people can work a long time on. To maintain your vibration is the challenge of all. You see, your vibrational highest point is the same as everyone else's vibrational highest point. Everyone has the same highest point. We don't all live there. That's why we are drawn to people who seem to us to be living the high vibrational point. These are the gurus, the masters, the people that we have idolized, the people that we have looked up to, rightly or wrongly. They seem to be able to maintain their life in their highest vibrational point, regardless of what they are confronted to. And a clear example of this So do not be too hard on yourself if you cannot maintain your vibrational highest point at all times. Work towards it is enough. Being aware of it is enough. Know when you're not in that vibrational highest point and work to get back there. Change the thought, change the behavior, change the whatever it is you need to do to try and create that vibrational highest point again. Now, you also mentioned the media. Okay, we have interesting times with the media. Okay, so we would say, first of all, again, question why you engage in the media. If it's not giving you the vibrational highest point that you want, then you must question your engagement with it. There is no need, we would say, to be engaged with the media as presented on most people's TV screens across the world, because most people's TV screens across the world are not presenting them with media that is worth watching. So it's a choice you must make. We do not say don't watch it, but if it's not giving you the vibrational highest point that you wish to maintain your existence at, then we question why you engage in that process. It's a choice you make. There is a button to switch off. There is a button to switch over. You have choice. If you are engaging with the media because you are stuck in a belief that says I must, we would question that. But if you are, then we say what you're really trying to do is the same as before with the behavior of the negative person around you, is to say the same thing. to observe the media as presented to you with awareness and understanding that this is not actually what is happening in the world today. It's one part of one thing that is what is happening in one tiny part of the world that is happening today. Question why the media has chosen to focus on that, because that's interesting in itself to have that question in your mind. When you're watching the media and you see the article that is being presented to you as what has happened in the world today, question, why did somebody choose that? Why did somebody take that specific piece of information and decide that this was the determining factor of what has happened in the world today? Now, what you will find is that they were not at their highest vibrational point when they made that choice. So how is that going to create the highest vibrational point within you? It's not possible. You see, people that are in the media, not all, most, vast majority of people in control in the media, are not at any kind of high level vibrationally. So when they are making their choices, they are being controlled themselves by lower vibrations than that which the questioner is wanting to maintain their existence at. How can you engage in something that is brought to you on a lower vibration and say, well, why isn't it allowing me to exist at my higher vibration? Once again, you are trying to attain a yogi status when perhaps most people are not at that level of control yet. Not to say that you won't be. It's a difficult job. So questioning why you are choosing to engage is a very valid choice when you understand that everything in the world is vibrational, everything is energy, everything is vibrational. If you are trying to maintain your highest vibrational point, deliberately choosing to engage with a organization such as the media, which by its very nature is on a much lower vibration, can never serve you your purpose. That's something to bear in mind. Now, does that mean that you should ignore what's happening in the world? Well, actually, some people would say ignorance of events in the world is one of the greatest ways to try and eliminate it. Now, let me explain. You have to appreciate vibrational law. You have to appreciate that the world operates on a vibrational plane. Where your vibrations are at creates a vibrational response to what you are putting out. You have to understand that fact before anything that I'm about to say makes sense. If you ignore or are ignorant of events that may or may not be, let's be honest, the media is not above fabrication, that may or may not be happening in the world, if you're ignorant of that or choose to ignore it, then you are not vibrating at an energy of pain, of an energy of fear, of an energy of violence, of an energy of intolerance, of an energy of catastrophe, of an energy of all the things that the average news show will show you, media program will show you. If you're not vibrating at that level, you are not contributing to the mass vibrational consciousness that exists on planet Earth. So if you're not contributing to it, I would argue you are in fact helping it, because most people are in fact contributing to it. By being in a vibrational low level, whatever that low level vibration is, pain, fear, intolerance, whatever, if you are experiencing that in your own vibrational body, then you are contributing to what is being experienced in the world, because you are putting out that which will be created. So ignorance is not actually a sin. If you choose to ignore, you are at the very least not adding to the problem. Now, is there a better way of changing the world? Of course. And this is what we come back to. Observing that which is, whilst maintaining your highest vibrational point. This is the goal of life. Because in the achievement of this, you are denying lower vibrations their ability to exist. This will, in the long run, drum out all negativity that you will call negativity on this planet. And this is what's happening with the new era, with the transitioning into the new era. Vibrations are rising, vibrations are increasing. We're getting to a higher and higher and higher level. Almost daily there is a higher vibrational resonance on this planet. And as this is happening, all of the negativity that exists is going to find, in time, harder and harder to exist, because lower vibration cannot match and exist with higher vibration. It cannot be. This is vibrational law. It cannot be. So your job, if you like, is to maintain your highest vibrational point at all times. It's not easy, and we're not saying you're going to manage it, but that's your job in life. Which is why you have words such as joy, light, love, as ancient texts of what you're here for, because that will get you to that highest vibrational point. Seek your joy, seek your love, seek your light. That will keep you at your highest vibrational point. You're doing your job if you stay there, if you even try to stay there at all times. Because in doing so, you are creating this shift in towards the new era. As we move forwards towards the new era, the vibrations get higher and higher. You will see within your lifetime a humongous change in what today is experienced as the darkness of the world. It will not all cease. You are not here in this time to experience all shifts, all changes. But within the lifetime of the questioner, you will experience huge shifts, unimaginable today to you, in what is experienced as normal behavior, experienced as normal events around the world. You will see this increasingly as we move forward. As we explained in a question last week, much of what you are actually watching today being played out is a shifting, a sifting of the old era energy to make way for the new, because there can be no compatibility between the two. Your job, your role is to maintain that high vibrational point as best as you can, aiding and abetting the planet's transition into the new era faster and faster and faster, so that the low energy vibrational behaviors simply cease to exist. And this will be. Now, the final point of your question was protection from people who choose to engage in dark arts. All we can say is pretty much the same thing. If you believe that dark arts exist, then you will be vulnerable to them. People will argue with this. They can argue. It doesn't make it truth. There are no dark arts where there are no beliefs. I go back to our yogis of old. Do you think they cared about dark arts? Of course not. They had their beliefs so strong, so pure, their vibrational point so high. Anyone else's belief that they were engaging in, quote, dark arts would have been nonsense. It is all belief. It is all belief, and perhaps we will get into this another day, another time. Maybe someone else will have another question on belief to explain it more fully than we have the opportunity here. But everything is belief. If you believe in dark arts, that they have a power over you, they will have a power over you. It's that simple. If you don't believe, then they don't exist. It's that simple. You see, when you are engaging in any behavior, be it for good or be it for negative intent, it's all about belief. Now, people who believe that they are engaging in dark arts manage to get other people to buy into their beliefs that they are somehow able to perform these spells or acts or whatever you wish to call them. It's your belief that allows it to happen, not theirs. They can have unquestioning belief in what they do. If you have no belief, there will be no effect on you. So, as always, come back to the self, come back to the self. Don't worry about them. They may have unbelievable faith in what they're doing. If you have none, they cease to exist. That is fact. That is how it works. Your beliefs for your planet, for your world, for your life, that is what is. If you are engaging in the idea that there is somehow some dark power that can influence you, you've already allowed it to influence you because of your own beliefs that you've gone down that path that says this exists. If you believe it exists, it will exist. It doesn't exist. You have to be stronger in your power to say, I know that you believe. I don't believe. Because I am in control of my own vibrational reality. And as long as I am working to be at my highest vibrational point, nothing can influence me. We hope this has answered your question. With love.